this speech, this assignment really couldn't have come at a more opportune time in life. I just took over as president of this club. I superseded Nee here, who's been a wonderful leader, on July 1st. But I've also recently been accepted into Leadership Greater Rochester here in town, which is a program that's run by the Chamber of Commerce here that takes people who have the opportunity to become leaders, and it takes them over a series of courses, and it helps them to grow as leaders and to really become immersed in the community. Well, as a part of that program, I was asked to take the Clifton Leadership Assessment. I don't know if any of you have done that before. I'm sure many of you have done it through work. Essentially what it is Donald Clifton is a gentleman who wrote this wonderful book about different leadership styles. He really focuses on the positives, about finding people's strengths as leaders. And from that book, he's created an assessment that helps people to identify where their strengths really lie and to identify what their leadership style is. So what I thought would be really perfect, given this context, is to give all of you a sense of what my results were, what my top 5 strengths happen to be based upon that assessment, and then to convey how that relates to Toastmasters and what it is that you can all expect to see from me. So to give you a little bit of background before we get started, the Clifton Strength Assessment is structured a little bit differently. It's almost kind of sorting hat style if you were to add a lot more complexity than just 4 houses. It first splits up your strengths into 4 separate domains: relationship building, executing, influencing, and strategic thinking. Now those 4 domains are pretty self-explanatory, but then from there, it'll further identify what your strengths are underneath those domains via 34 different subcategories. And those are a lot less self-explanatory, but that's why I thought we should go through this just a little bit. So my first strength is achiever. Basically, it means that I am a driver. I've been called bossy my entire life, but I will try very hard not to let that permeate this space. I'm always seeking to achieve that next thing. I really struggle with complacency. My least favorite phrase in the world is something is good enough. I think there's always a way for us to further improve, to do something more than what we're doing. And I think that that also relates to how I work with people. I don't just look for that next thing for myself to achieve. I look for how can I help other people to set goals for themselves, and how can I help other people to do what needs to be done to achieve those goals. My second strength is input. I have no idea why this word is associated with this meaning, but it essentially means that I'm interested in lots of different things. And I'm most happy and I'm most satisfied when I'm in an environment with lots of variety and lots of diversity, in which there's lots of different things to do and to think about. And in this context, what it means is I care about the things that you care about just as much as you do. I promise I'm not being flattering towards you when I say that. I'm really interested to learn what it is that you guys think and what it is you care about. Which actually applies really well to my third strength, which is learner. I've told many of you that I was raised by 2 college professors, and so education is something that I'm really super duper uber extra passionate about. And for me, the process of learning something is almost as important as the end result of having learned it. And I've always thought that if you can get something done really quickly, but you miss out on an opportunity to learn something along the way, then you've lost an incredible opportunity to grow as a person and to become a better individual at whatever it is you're trying to do. That also applies to how I work with other people. I will always be that force that encourages people to sometimes take the long way around if it means there's an opportunity to learn something. My fourth skill is intellection. Basically, it means that I really like to think. I love being inside my headspace. This will be really funny to all of you because contrary to my seemingly extroverted personality, I'm really introverted. My favorite time in the world is when I get to go home and close the door and lock it and just muse and reflect on the day and think about all the conversations that I've had with people and kind of theorize how things are going to go in the future. I definitely play out lots of scenarios before they ever actually happen. That also can be a weakness for me. Because I spend so much time in my headspace, there's a constant little hum in the back of my head. So whenever I'm speaking to people or whenever I'm in a situation where I'm taking in information, I'm thinking, how can I use that information to do something else rather than just sitting and listening to people? So I do welcome some criticism on that and some feedback. Feel free to call me out on it. That's something I'd really like to improve. And my last strength is positivity. Shocking, I know. I use positivity as a motivational tool, mostly because I use it to try and connect with people. Oftentimes you'll find me trying to be the person to find something funny in a situation, to make people laugh. And really the purpose of that is just to make people feel comfortable and safe in a space. I really want everyone to feel at ease with me, because I feel like when you're at ease and when you feel comfortable with the people you're working with is when you get your best work done. I also think that that can sometimes mean that I get a little bit buffoonish and a little bit over silly when things need to be serious. And so that's another thing I hope to work on and I hope to improve, is making sure that everyone feels safe and everyone feels comfortable while still recognizing that there are serious moments and that's okay. So applying all of that to Toastmasters. As an achiever, I will always strive for us to do the next big thing. I don't think that even with the incredible group of people that we have and the amazing structure we have and the people that we have making things function beautifully and efficiently and effectively, that there's nothing else for us to ever improve or nothing new that we can do and accomplish. I also hope that this helps you as individuals to improve. I hope that as a Toastmaster, that you're setting goals for yourself as an individual person in your work life, at home, and that we can help you to achieve those goals as an individual. Input. I promise you I really do care and I'm really interested to learn all the things that you guys want to talk about. So if I seem really passionate about something like 10 minutes after learning it, please don't be surprised. That's genuine, that's real, that's just who I am. Learner. It's important for us to be learning as we go. That's what Toastmasters is all about, is learning and growing as a speaker, but also taking in all sorts of new experiences and learning information as you go too. You'll learn something new in this club every time you're here. Intellection. Again, I love to be in my headspace. I promise you I'm trying to listen to you, but call me out on it if I'm being an active listener and you just want me to hear what it is that you have to say. And lastly, positivity. I will always try to make sure that this space is safe, is positive, is happy, is a great place for people to be vulnerable, but also to learn and to be constructive. So I'm really looking forward to the rest of this year. I hope that this has given you a little bit of a sense of what you can expect from me as a leader. And I'm just really grateful for everything that all of you do, and I look forward to seeing what we can hear from you in the future. Mr. Toastmaster.